Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Talia and I'm from class 5C. Now I want to report about my analysis uh, the result of my analysis article. And the video will contain about 4 questions. And the first question is research question, and the second one about data collection and analysis, and the third question is research finding, and the fourth is about research gap. I will explain about the question number 1 is about research question. In this study, investigate the effect of using rubrics as an instructional tools on student performance in English as a foreign language. And the major goals was to liberate the students from the narrow perception of writing based solely on the notion of correct grammar, which is strongly felt in EFL writing. And also there are written in the research question is number 1, does the integration of rubrics into the writing course as an instructional tool have any effect on students' writing performance? Number 2, can students be liberated from the narrow perception of writing based on the notion of a correct grammar? And the last one is, do rubrics have potential for teachers to make their writing course more productive? And the number 2 is about data collection and data analysis. And this article, the researcher, this is basically a quasi-experimental research designed comparing the pre- and post-test essay papers and scored by the 3 raters upon the completion of about 4 weeks treatment based on the use of rubrics. The experimental group received training on using rubric while producing their works, and the students in the control group continued their class without being taught the rubrics. And in the first week of implementation, the students were provided with clear meanings of the words and expression used in the rubric. And when the second week began with the analysis of first draft, and in the third week, the essay type in the syllabus was a compare and contrast essay. In the first lesson of the week, students were instructed on the general outline and the language of the compare and contrast essay, and the same exercise we use with the control group were applied in the class. And in the end of the class, students were assigned to write their first draft of the compare and contrast essay type. Again, the students were asked to analyze their peers of drafts and to judge and score them according to the rubric. And the third question is about research finding. For the interview result, 10 students from the experimental group were interviewed after completing the final test of writing and compare and contrast essay using the rubric. Initially, they were asked to comment on the use of rubric in general, and there appeared to be an overall agreement among the students about the benefit of using rubrics in writings. And the last question is about the research gap. The research gap. For interview, in this research gap, I determined a theoretical gap in this research article. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.